Yeah.
It's George.
It's Elaine.
Come on up.
Hey, Vinny, listen to
I never heard anything like this in my life. Listen to this.
This is exciting! This is exciting! Huh? Did I miss anything already?
Kramer, get in.
Where's the crazy man?
Hey, sit down. Come on, it's about to start.
Hello, and welcome to Seincast, a retrospective on all 180 episodes of Seinfeld, being hosted by two guys who can barely run their own lives. My name is Vinny.
My name's Matt.
We are here.
We're here, man. It's it's a big day for Seincast. What episode are we discussing today, Vinny?
We are discussing the 23rd and 24th episodes of Season 9, the finale, written by Larry David, directed by Andy Ackerman, and originally aired May 14th, 1998.
And if you didn't listen to our clip show, 20 years to the day of releasing this episode. It was by design. We always meant to do this.
You have a knack for coordinating dates. It's one of your gifts.
Well, there's this weird OCD side of me that loves that we began the show on the 25th anniversary of the pilot, and now we're ending it on the 20th anniversary of the finale. A big episode, Vinny. I don't think you can really talk about the finale without talking about how much people hate it.
Mm-hmm. You ain't just whistling Dixie.
I don't think there's really anything we're going to say that's going to shed any new light on the episode as to why it's great or why it's horrible. I think we'll try to stay positive for this discussion. Some really cool trivia to discuss, especially these deleted scenes. Did you get a chance to watch these?
I did.
Yeah, so this episode was originally going to be like broken up into 3 parts, essentially. Like, I think it was clocked in around an hour, 15 minutes or so. It was decided late in the game, maybe it's better to be shorter than too long, so they lopped off about 15 to 20 minutes, and it became like a 56-minute episode. As a result, though, we have all these great deleted scenes to talk about. Most of them take place in the trial, where a lot of the secondary characters in the gallery have little interactions, little scenes together. We'll get to those. But let's talk some trivia here. The table reading for the finale was held on a closed set, Wednesday, April 1st, 1998. Filming commenced immediately afterward. All but one copy of the script was destroyed following the table reading. The surviving copy belonged to the script supervisor, Christy Neihart, who, actually needed it to work on the show for her notes and for continuity purposes. A lot of secrecy surrounding this episode, as everyone can understand. The production code was a tough nut to crack, which I love. A lot of these high-profile movies and TV shows will use code names. Return of the Jedi used Blue Harvest back in the day. Mm-hmm. I think The Dark Knight was Rory's first kiss. Just basically any way to keep prying eyes away.
Sure.
I was wondering if they could have gone with another name like Prognosis Negative.
That was what first popped into my head, too.
Right, that was Larry's unproduced script. Maybe that would have gotten too much attention, though, right?
Sure.
Wait a second.
Wait a minute.
Other ways to ensure secrecy and confidentiality. All participants, actors, audience members signed legal releases that they would not disclose anything that they saw or heard. The audience actually was pretty much made up entirely of friends and family of the cast and crew. So there's no way, Vinny, you and I or, regular people could get into this taping.
We didn't have any means.
No. Actually, I think writers and crew members were used as extras in a lot of the scenes. Mm-hmm. We'll point them out when we get to them. 33 sets were built for this episode. Filming took place on 3 sound stages, along with a lot of outside locations off the lot, like the Latham, Massachusetts, the downtown, or all of those different exterior shots of characters leaving their apartments. Vinny, going back 20 years, do you remember watching the finale and just like overall how you were feeling?
I remember just feeling amped up, had my mom and dad there with the dogs. And it was just a really exciting night ahead for us, is what I recall.
Yeah, you could really feel it. It was in the air. There's something in the air. An estimated 76 million people tuned in to watch this episode on Thursday, May 14th.
Do you want to say 76,000? Or have we done that joke enough?
Yeah, I think we've done that enough.
Okay.
This was the 4th most watched sitcom finale in history at that time, following MASH, Cheers, and The Fugitive. But I believe it still might hold that record.
Okay.
Friends might have come close.
Oh, who are they? It's interesting because, MASH is always known as had the most watched finale, and yet you have more and more shows are coming out. More people have access to watching the shows, and yet no finale has been able to surpass them.
Of course. I think.
But I guess there are only so many channels, so only so many shows to watch, hence why, right? Would that be the reasoning?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I don't think we'll ever get numbers quite like 76 million outside of like a sporting event.
Yeah.
The top price for 30-second commercials during the finale was about $1 million a pop, which is crazy. This was the first time in American television history that a regular primetime television series and a non-sport event was commanding that much money. I think that's just insane. It really does feel kind of like this Super Bowl of finales. Mm-hmm. But the night the finale aired, other cable networks actually shut down for the hour. TV Land, for example, didn't air anything. Instead, if you went to their channel, at 9 o'clock, you would have just seen a still image of a closed office door, and there were some notes on it saying we're big TV fans, so we're watching Seinfeld. We'll be back in 60 minutes.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
What a compliment that is.
Mm-hmm.
I thought when you're telling this, I thought this little blurb, I thought you were just going to say they had the bars, the boo, that's slayed up. But what a compliment to your fellow TV compatriots to put that up.
Even Dharma and Greg, which again, it's no Seinfeld, but the night before the finale aired, Dharma and Greg actually wrote the Seinfeld finale, the airing of it, into their episode where the characters realize that everyone is going to be watching the finale. So this is tied into the plot. They're going to try to have sex in public places because no one will be around to catch them.
Oh, my.
So pretty cool. I'm not exactly sure if any other shows wrote the finale into their plot, but, it was a big enough deal at the time. And something that's really cool, if you type in Seinfeld finale into Google image search, you can see all of these photos from around the country of people having live screenings, whether they're at bars or in parks. The best photos come from Times Square, where the entire place is filled up like New Year's Eve, and people are watching the finale on the jumbotrons there.
You've put that up before on the social media, right?
It's crazy. A couple of years ago, I found an image, of people just standing there watching. I think it's the opening scene of Jerry and George at Monk's.
Yeah.
And it took off. And ever since then, every couple of months, you'll see that photo pop up like on Reddit or on Twitter, things like that. So it's gotten some much deserved attention. They're just some great photos. And speaking of photos, you have a book called Sign Off, which I gave you a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Featuring some amazing photos from the final couple of episodes. I think a lot are from the finale, right?
Yes. All in black and white. Very, very powerful photos to look at, especially going into watching the finale, and you see kind of what they were going through. There's a great image of, I forget if it's Jerry or Michael, but just waiting to enter the apartment set. You see him from behind the bathroom or behind the entrance door. It's really a great looking shot.
Yeah, great book. It's called Sign Off. We'll include a link in our show notes. Very cheap on Amazon. I think you can get a used copy for $10. So
I'm waiting to get a coffee table so I can lay it out for you guys.
One book I want to get my hands on is that Seinfeld yearbook.
I know.
One of these days.
We stumbled across this on eBay at some point, and crew members of the show were given this Seinfeld yearbook to commemorate the last season, and it's got the photos with the names, just like you would any yearbook, but then it's got production stills and trivia and whatnot. But at one point, I think it was in the 400s and maybe even 800s. So cool purchase if you can find it and afford it, but I'm waiting for it to hopefully come down.
Well, like a yearbook, you'd have people sign their pictures like, hey, I had a great time. I don't know if you remember this. Back in 2015, we went to the Hulu apartment. They had this huge mural or something. Basically, cast and crew members signed this brick wall. Mm-hmm. Just telling, everyone thanks for the memories. I loved filming with you guys. I forgot all about this, and I stumbled upon my photos recently. I'll include this in the show notes. It's fantastic. You get little messages from John O'Hurley, Bryan Cranston, different writers on the show, just basically thanking Jerry and everyone for the 9 years. So if we can't get our hands on the yearbook, I think this is pretty close,
Yeah.
So check it out on our show notes. In the years since the finale, there's a great skit on SNL when Jerry hosted in like the fall of '99, which featured a parody of Jerry in prison, but he was in the Oz prison. Which is, I think, one of the best skits and one of the best things really to come out of the finale.
It's a wonderful parody because not only do they parody Oz, but they use the Oz set and got all the actors from Oz. So you see Adebisi, you see Beecher. Is J.R. or J.K.
J.K. Simmons is in it, yep.
The one I remember that I always take away is he walks up to, is it Prophet? But he goes, "What's the matter?" He goes, "Adebisi stuck me with an AIDS-infested needle." And Jerry puts his hands up saying, "Whoa, good luck with all that," and walks away. Yeah. So it's just a wonderful way in which they blended Oz and Seinfeld together.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We'll include a link in the show notes. A couple years ago, David Letterman had his final episode, and his top 10 theme was things I've always wanted to say to Dave. And some of like the biggest comedy talent comes out to read the top 10 list. I think Jim Carrey's there, Bill Murray, Jerry Seinfeld himself. Julia is also there. And I'll play a clip here. This is from Dave Letterman's final show, Top 10 Things I've Always Wanted to Say to Dave.
Number 4, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for letting me take part in another hugely disappointing series finale.
I had nothing to do with that either.
I remember watching that when it aired, and I love that she came out. And it's how great is it that they can have a sense of humor about it?
Oh, and the best is the blocking, because Jerry's right behind her when she says this, and he's just like, "What? Come on." I think in the years since this finale aired, Larry and Jerry have been able to, maybe open up a little bit about it. No one will go out and say it was terrible, we let people down. But Jerry had a few quotes from the New Yorker Festival back in October 2017 saying, "I sometimes think we really shouldn't have done the finale. There was a lot of pressure on us at that time to do one big last show, but big is always bad in comedy. Comedy should be small and cheap and quick. That's why TV is always funnier than movies, because you don't have that much time and that much money." And he went on to say that the hardest thing in comedy is to have the biggest laugh at the end. And that's really the most satisfying thing you can get.
Your closer.
Yes, and as an example, he brought up his favorite moment from the show, the end of The Marine Biologist. When George pulls out the Titleist, and you just get like that huge applause from the audience. And as we all remember, that whole scene was written the night before by Larry and Jerry, like at the last minute. And Jason memorized his lines, right then and there. And they killed it. So you can see, how important comedy is to Jerry and ending on that high note. And
Jason said something so let me back up here.
Sure.
On the DVDs, there's a roundtable interview in which the 4 cast members, Jerry, Jason, Julia, and Michael, sat with Larry David to kind of go over impressions of the series as a whole. And I think mostly the wrapping the series, coming back for the finale. But Jason made a great point about how no human being could write a finale episode to meet the expectations or the hype that a fan would put in their head. So it was just impossible to do so.
Absolutely. I see this a lot online with, fan theories and breaking down TV shows. People create like a better idea in their head than what the writers come up with.
There's only so many shows I know of, in and out that I've watched from, beginning to end, or at least have seen every episode. And then I can kind of not rank the finale, but say, wow, that was a good finale. Or that was a show of a finale. sandwich. And it's hard to put a label on what's the best finale I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. Because there's a couple drama. I'd probably go with Breaking Bad, although that's not a comedy, so it's kind of hard to relate to this. But you can go to Everybody Else Raymond. That one got really sappy, I remember, because wasn't there the whole like death scare with Ray? Friends was very heartfelt, I thought, but I felt like the show kind of fell off a little bit in the last couple years. And then The Office is another one I followed, which I thought was a nice finale because it brought back the character of Michael Scott. Mm-hmm. So that was a nice way to send off the show. Where am I going with this? Help me out.
Well, really with Seinfeld, though, like what could they have done to satisfy most people?
Nothing.
Because I think the premise this week is fantastic. I love the idea of the gang going to jail. I think that's fantastic. Yeah. And celebrating all these memorable secondary characters. But I won't lie, I don't think this episode is really funny or really all that clever.
There's some moments that I think harken back to the Larry David era, where they're talking about the cell phone walk and talk and things like that. But it feels like a small show because it's them in the apartment, in the coffee shop. But it's all that one big build up to the court scenes, right?
Yeah. So if unfortunately for Larry and Jerry, if their like main objective was to be funny, I think they didn't really achieve that for the finale. But in terms of writing a satisfying ending to the show where there's a sense of conclusion, I think it's great. So I don't know if you can really have one over the other, but we have 178 episodes before this to watch and laugh if you want.
You want to laugh? Go watch one of those shows.
But Larry hasn't said he has regrets. Back when he did the season 7 arc on Curb, where basically there's a Seinfeld reunion within the world of Curb, I believe in that storyline, they kind of acknowledge how no one liked the finale. So this is sort of a way to redeem themselves, right?
Yeah, I believe Jason's pseudo, Curb real life counterpart in the show is the one who's jabbing at Larry for maybe this time we'll get it right or we'll do a good finale or something that.
Jerry's character said, or Jerry's version says, Larry, we already screwed up one finale. And Larry's like, we didn't screw up a finale. That was a good finale. But love that. So good. One last thing before we get started, Vinny. The DVDs have a great feature throughout all 9 seasons. They keep track of like all the boyfriends and girlfriends the characters have. Now, the DVDs are a little too flexible with who's a girlfriend, who's a boyfriend. Sometimes like George will, like Marissa Tomei, they count that as a girlfriend.
That's kind of weak.
A little weak. But these are the final numbers that the DVDs have. Throughout Seinfeld, we hear that Kramer had 27 girlfriends, Elaine had 50 boyfriends, George had 62 girlfriends, and Jerry had 73 girlfriends.
Oh, baby.
Right. So those are sort of the, official / unofficial numbers. It's kind of subjective, right? Who do you count? Who do you not count? All right, Vinny. Enough chit-chat. Let's get started with the episode proper. First scene. Love this. Larry's back in charge, which means we open with some stand-up.
It seems like whenever these office people call you in for a meeting, the whole thing is about the sitting down. I would really like to sit down with you. I think we need to sit down and talk. Why don't you come in and we'll sit down? Because sometimes the sitting down doesn't work. People get mad at the sitting. We've been sitting here for I don't know how long. How much longer are we just going to sit here? I'll tell you what I think we should do. I think we should all sleep on it. Maybe we're not getting down low enough. Maybe if we all lie down, then our brains will work.
It's been a long time since the season 7 finale. The invitations. Jerry hasn't done any stand-up.
It's very comforting to start a Seinfeld episode with stand-up. I forgot how much I missed it.
Yes.
And if I had to pick, I'm writing my own Seinfeld episode. You're going to do a cold open. You're going to do a stand-up. I got to go stand-up.
Is this from Jerry's regular act?
Not that I recall. I'm not familiar with this. So I suspect both the opening and closing stand-ups for this episode were written specifically for the finale.
For sure. Definitely the closing. But I guess this is alluding to the NBC meeting that Jerry and George will have. Let's get into it here. First scene, we're at Monk's. Back to some issues only Larry David could write. Jerry and George are, out to eat, and George is ranting about needing ketchup and how the waitress never checks up on them.
It's like going out with someone and then you never hear from them again.
But George asks the people behind him, could I have your ketchup? And, I hate these people so much. They sort of think about it. They're like, what do you think? No, we're going to hang on to it. We might need it from time to time. Can you think of any other ketchup references, Vinny, on Seinfeld?
Well, the one that I have burned in my memory is the ketchup secret.
I'm thinking about Nana.
Nana!
Here's the bottle. Ma, don't they make squeeze ketchup or whatever? I don't know.
What are you doing? I got it.
If you look in the background at one of the smaller tables, you can see some former Seinfeld writers. You got Steve Skrovan, and sitting across from him is Fred Stoller.
Hey, Freddie boy.
So,
or Fred Yerkes.
Fred Yerkes, yes. The X's one from Diagonally Right.
There's no ketchup in the bottle. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Well, George is just in a bad mood in this scene. He doesn't want to see a movie. He doesn't care about his health. And to top it off, the lady, I guess, behind him eventually gives him the ketchup bottle, and it's empty. I
always thought the actress that is the ketchup lady here is the same as the reporter when we get to the Geraldo Rivera sequence. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Apparently that reporter is a real-life reporter playing herself.
Right.
So these are different different people.
That would have been interesting. Or I don't know, someone on the jury is sitting behind George and Jerry. Anyways, let's cut over to the next scene. Jerry and George are walking down the street.
Nice day.
Yeah.
What is that?
Hey, Jojo!
Hey.
All right, thanks for the ride, Kramer.
No, thank you.
So what are you doing?
Nothing.
Come on, let's go to the beach.
Are you crazy?
No, it's a beautiful day.
Have a good time.
Yeah, there's something in the air today. You feel it? There's something in the air.
You know you're turning into Burt Lancaster?
Yeah, there's something in the air.
Oh, I forgot to call Jill. Jill, hi, it's Elaine. How is your father? Is everything okay? What? I can't hear you so good. There's a lot of static. What? I'm gonna call you back.
Jill's father is in the hospital and you call to ask about him on a cell phone?
What, no good?
Faux pas.
Faux pas?
Big, hefty, stinking faux pas.
You can't make a health inquiry on a cell phone. It's like saying I don't want to take up any of my important time in my home, so I'll just get it out of the way on the street.
And the street cell phone call is the lowest phone call you can make.
It's an act of total disregard. It's selfish.
It's dismissive.
It's pompous.
Why don't you think before you do something?
Here's the thought. Bye-bye.
Too much?
And here's the start of it. We're going to get a lot of chirping going back and forth between George and Elaine this episode. Really, I think, getting under each other's skin.
Yeah, there's no love in this episode. If you want to look for the sentimental stuff, watch the clip show.
That's true.
But this episode, it seems like George and Elaine are really at each other. Later on, characters going for a hug. Nope, no hugging. But in this scene here, we kick it off with a man, just a stranger, saying "nice day," and that rubs Jerry the wrong way.
Of course.
What is that? Did you notice what Kramer calls Jerry?
Jojo.
Jojo, yeah.
Who's Jojo?
Nothing else really discussed in this scene other than Kramer, is heading to the beach.
Uh-huh.
And he kind of sets the, I don't know, that mysterious tone this week of, something's in the air. What's going to happen in the finale? Sure. We also get George's storyline this week is just complaining about how no one checks in on him or helps him out with things. Elaine's storyline is this friend of hers, Jill, and she's trying to call her to talk to her about her father who's in the hospital, and it doesn't work out for her throughout the whole episode.
So, all these nerds online always say, what would Seinfeld be without a cell phone? Well, here's your damn answer. Here's what Seinfeld would be with a cell phone, because Elaine has a cell phone in this episode.
Have we seen a cell phone already?
Well, we've seen a car phone. Jerry's got the car phone as well as Peterman. Have we seen like the big block cell phone?
I feel like we've seen.
We probably have.
Yeah.
But I guess it's the last episode of Seinfeld. It's 1998, but you see Elaine whip out the big chunky cell phone. Chunky.
Yeah.
Chunky.
This is, and even Jerry makes the joke like an on the street cell phone call, which I don't know really establishes like cell phones are a thing now. Like it's part of culture. Yeah. It's not something that just like the elite carry around or whatever.
Yeah.
Also have to say, love how Kramer pulls up to the group. No, Elaine gets a dose of her own medicine, right?
That's true. She ends up all cattywampus in the front seat there.
Right. All right, well, let's cut over to Jerry's apartment. George heads straight to the bathroom and unzips with the door open.
If you're thinking of instituting an open-door urination policy, let me disabuse you of that notion right now, my friend.
You're so uptight.
Yeah, I'm uptight. Let's all just have a big pee party. Hey, everybody, grab a bucket. We're going to Jerry's. It's a pee party. I have a confession to make, or at least something to tell you guys.
Are you gonna do this?
No, not you. One of my good friends is an open-door peer.
Is that right?
And yeah, you know him. We went to college with him.
Oh.
Not rich. He's quite crass, and he'll just start going when he's in my house, and I'll go, I'm pissing, and he'll tell me, and I'm like, all right, So I reluctantly participate in an open door urination policy.
Have you ever said something?
He's not the type to.
Oh.
I just let it be.
Oh man, well I would never do this to you. This is. And I don't do that as a favor. I just wouldn't feel comfortable. I mean,
yeah,
public urination in a bathroom, or I don't know if you're like outside in the woods or something. It's like whatever. But yeah, in someone's house, no, always close the door.
I think as Paul McCartney once said, "Live and let pee." Okay. But also, does this pee party phrase, does that ring a bell?
What is it from?
A little uromycetitis.
Oh, that's right.
Recall in the parking garage and we'll learn this later as well. But when Jerry gets caught by the security guard, Jerry makes up this phony story of him having a free urination pass, but his brother stole it. So him and his buddies are probably having a good time having a pee party throughout the city.
Right. Well, more on that later. George closes the door to the bathroom, and Jerry checks his messages. One is from NBC, and he, calls them back. Here's from James Kimbrough, the new president of the network. He wants to sit down with them and talk about Jerry.
Our show, Jerry?
Right.
Jerry? Oh my God, he wants to talk about Jerry?
Yeah.
When?
Today, like right now.
Right now, Jerry?
Jerry!
He wants to talk about Jerry?
He wants to talk about Jerry!
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 Can I go like this?
Sure.
No sports jacket? I don't need a sports jacket. Writers wear sports jackets.
Forget the sports jacket.
I won't feel like a writer.
You're not a writer.
Right.
That was good.
I kind of morphed into Jerry there.
A little bit, yeah.
But what can you do?
Let's go over to NBC Studios, a familiar setting here. Jerry and George are waiting to go meet with the president, and we start to understand George's storyline this week, as I pointed out earlier. Sitting there complaining how no one checks up on them. This time he needs some water. And before they go in, Jerry reminds George, all right, no scenes like last time. Calling back to the pilot arc of season 4. If the president doesn't want it to be a show about nothing, don't go nuts.
It's fine. It doesn't have to be about nothing.
He might not want nothing.
Something, nothing, like a careless.
He might want a show about anything and everything.
Anything, everything, something, nothing. Who the hell cares? Put me down. I'm down. So, I got a little Mimbo vibe there.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. What's the quote in that? Put me down. I'm down for some rock climbing.
I am down. Well, George is stealing Tony's down.
That's right. So Jerry and George are brought into Mr. Kimbrough's office.
Hey, Jerry. Good to hey. Yeah, how you been?
Good. You remember George?
George, good to see
hello,
you.
Stu.
You remember Jay Crespi?
Jay Crespi. I'm going to forget Jay Crespi, huh?
This is James Kimbrough.
Nice to meet you. Pleasure. Thanks for coming in.
Kimbrough.
Don't spell.
Kimbrough.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a talent I have.
Why don't we sit down? I'm glad you're here.
Woo! Ooh, someday out there, huh? Did you ever see weather like that? Woo! It's crisp. It's crispy crisp.
Shut up, George.
Can I get you anything?
What do we have in the fruit department?
Hey.
Pineapple? Ooh, that's a dangerous fruit. It's like a weapon, that thing. Got spikes on the end. You get killed from one of those things.
Anyway, let me tell you why I called. When I took over here last month, I reviewed what was in development and was pretty much same old, same old.
Been there, done that.
Right. I was looking for something different. Something that would have people talking at the water coolers.
Water coolers.
We call it a water cooler show.
Because the next day in the offices, people gather around the water coolers to talk about it, right?
Huh. See, I would think people would talk about it at the coffee machines.
Well, it's probably just easier to say water cooler show than coffee machine show.
Well, it's really not accurate. Nobody drinks from a water cooler anymore. They use bottles.
But I think Mr. Kimbrough makes a good point.
Anyway, Stu here started telling me about a show, Jerry, that he developed 5 years ago.
I have always loved it.
He said it was a show about nothing. So, I saw the pilot, and I've got to tell you, I flipped out.
He totally flipped out.
What I want to do is put it on the air. 13-episode commitment. Started off on Wednesday night, build an audience. This show needs time to grow. I love that Kramer guy.
He's a little off the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Kramer.
And Elaine. I wouldn't mind seeing something happening between you two.
Definitely.
I tell you, I really don't think so-called relationship humor is what this show's all about.
Or we could not do the show altogether. How about that?
Or we could get them together.
Okay, that's good. Or again, the Paco. Woo!
That's it. A lot of good stuff in this clip here, which I like. I love how Kimbrough, don't spell it. Jerry has to say it under his breath because he knows his buddy, he knows his best friend so well,
And he gets it right though.
A good omen, being that he spells it correctly this time. Contrast that with Dalrymple, he was not even close. And then here's one for you. Again, I'm having a lot of Matt moments lately. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or what, but or I got water in my ear. But did you notice when George says, "Woo, it's someday out there"? You ever see weather like this? It's crisp. And then what's the next line?
It's crispy crisp. Or Jake. Oh wait.
Oh. So here's the Matt moment, fellas. If you watch with the subtitles on, the line is "It's crispy crisp." George is making a little play on word of Jay Crespi. Or is it Stu Crespi now?
No, it's Jay Crespi.
Jay Crespi. So he says crispy crisp. And I always heard crispy crisp. And we did, I think we discussed back in the, was it in the pilot where they reversed the names? Or was it, it was in the one Kenny Banya.
Yeah, but the butter shave. A lot of people don't realize this. The NBC execs that approached Kenny to offer him a show, different actors. Chris Parnell is one of them. Mm-hmm. So different actors and their name, the first names have been switched. So
it was it originally Stu Shermack and Jay Crespi?
Yes.
And then in that Banya episode, it was Stu Crespi and Jay Shermack?
You got it.
Beautiful. Because again, I always complained about, they got different actors. It's ridiculous. But no, different characters. And they brought back the original execs from the pilot era.
Yeah, this is Kevin Page, who is Stu Shermack, the guy with the glasses, and Peter Blood as Jay Crespi. That's the one that looks kind of like French Stewart a little bit. But I thought it was interesting that they cast Peter, is it Riegert, as James Kimbrough. I think most people know him as Boone in Animal House, but Vinny, you and I probably know him from The Mask, right?
From The Mask, baby. He's the detective, right?
Yes.
Ipkiss. Another thing I picked up from this clip, George is the one requesting fruit during this meeting. And recall when he visited the Nakahama Broadcast Corporation, he brought oranges.
Oranges, yes. This time it's pineapple, right?
Yes.
Or he doesn't ask for pineapple. He's just like, ooh, that's a dangerous fruit.
Wipe it on this thing. George is trying to be very affable in this scene. Like he's nervous, but then he's indifferent in the waiting room, and then once he gets in there, he's like just trying to put on a show.
He's doing it though. Like he kind of falters a little bit, but kind of like how Jerry gives him the heads up. I don't think George is really pushing the. There's no walkouts. This is the show, right?
But that Larry David is, in him comes out again when he's like, I don't really see him getting together, like that drive of his. And that I will say, I haven't watched the finale in quite a long time, but then revisiting this, seeing the writing and like the cohesion, I guess, between George and Jerry, I'm reminded of what it's like to have a Larry David helmed episode, and I really miss it. Mm-hmm. So I've been enjoying this rewatch thus far, and just having Larry back infused into the show. So much so as when Kimbrough utters that line, I saw the pilot, and I got to tell you, I flipped out. I think that's all Larry, because if you watch Curb, he uses, I'll flip you out, I'm flipping out. He uses that so frequently.
And I love as they leave the meeting, they cheer quietly. Yeah. And then, again, they go in for that hug, but yeah, no hugging, no learning on this show.
Great moment right there.
There is a deleted scene that takes place here. I don't know if we should play a clip. Yeah, let's play a clip.
Yeah, treat.
It features Jerry and George in a taxi cab driving home after the meeting.
Well, buddy, guess what? We're moving to California. What are you going to do about your apartment? What? What is it?
13 episodes?
Can you believe it?
How are we going to do 13 episodes?
No problem.
No problem? Problem?
What's the problem?
I'm not a writer.
But we wrote the pilot together.
I don't have any ideas.
We don't need any ideas. It's about nothing.
It's still something.
Do you see what you're doing? Look at what you're doing. Do you see?
Yes, I see.
You're doing it.
Yes, you're right.
Can't we just enjoy this?
Yes, let's enjoy it. We must enjoy.
Otherwise, what's the point?
No point.
So from now on, let us vow. We are going to enjoy this.
Yes, I vow. I am vowing.
Put your hand up.
I'm not going to put my hand up.
Then it's not a vow.
It's a vow.
So here's the old George that we all know and love.
Oh, how great is this? Because this is the same disposition that Larry had. I gotta write 4 episodes. I gotta write 13 episodes. Right. 24. How are you gonna write 24? So this is again what made season 4 of Seinfeld great. That whole pilot arc was them like reliving that moment. Mm-hmm. They're bringing it back. They're bringing it back with this George being so frightened of having to write 13 episodes. How am I going to write this? Right.
Next scene, we're at Elaine's apartment. She's talking to Jill and trying to make up for the call earlier on the street when she gets interrupted by Jerry calling in and saying, hey, it's an emergency, like hang up the phone. So she hangs up on Jill and finds out that the TV pilot is back on. Jerry and George are moving to California.
That's the emergency? I was on the other line talking to Jill.
Jill? Why didn't you say so?
You said it was an emergency.
So now she's lost a phone face-off? That's even worse than your cell phone walk and talk. I like this. I mean, maybe it's a little late 90s, but...
But it's great. Mm-hmm. It's the whole notion of this etiquette in society.
Which has
phone face-off versus a cell phone walk and talk.
Which has completely disappeared, right? I mean, maybe cell phones are more reliable, obviously more popular now, but...
Well, the phone face-off I still think is a thing because you can lose a phone battle with somebody, beeping in. Either decline it or I gotta go. But the cell phone walk and talk is so common nowadays.
For sure. Or replacing what should be a phone call with a text message, right?
Mm-hmm. Or a FaceTime. Would a FaceTime supersede a cell phone, a call, which would supersede a text? Huh?
Both supersede a text, but I think it's really a matter of preference because I don't care for the FaceTime. I don't need to look at someone, to talk to them. I don't like looking at you, Vinny.
I like FaceTime.
Well, it's always from like a weird angle and...
Yeah, you got the double chin going. People tend to always look at their own picture versus the person they're calling. But it's funny. I do have
quality,
No, I do have certain friends though that love the FaceTime. So I do it with my family as well. So it's nice. Mm-hmm. But I don't need to. I know what you look like.
Well, later, Jerry calls his parents, and they're very congratulatory. Morty going so far as to say, they're a bunch of idiots at that network, not putting it on 5 years ago. What's the only show Morty watches?
Xena the Warrior Princess. She must be about 6'6".
She's not 6'6".
You think LD was laying a little groundwork with Lucy Lawless by putting this line in the show?
Maybe, yeah. He seemed to know who she was. Lucy Lawless is in like an episode or two of Curb where they go on a date.
Yeah.
So
they almost, Don't
spoil it. I haven't seen it yet. Next scene, we're at the Costanzas, and we have to play a clip for this conversation.
They picked up the show?
I'm moving to California.
Oh, baby doll, this kid's gone places, I told you.
The NBC guy liked it?
Of course he liked it.
He told you he liked it?
He wouldn't put it on if he didn't like it.
Well, what are you doing?
I'm writing.
You know how to write?
Without the writing, you have nothing. You're the ones that make them look good.
Since when do you know how to write? I never saw you write anything.
What?
I don't know how you're going to write all those shows. And where are you going to get all the ideas?
Would you leave him alone? You'll shatter his confidence.
I don't need any ideas. It's a show about nothing.
Nothing, please. I'll tell you the truth. The whole thing sounds pretty stupid to me.
I think they heard my gripes about, wanting 80% more Costanzas in season 9, because we got a wonderful scene here with Frank and Estelle and her chipping away at the already fragile Georgie Costanza, his confidence. NBC guy liked it. He told you he liked it.
It kind of reminds you of when he hears, or when she hears about George's engagement, right? Like,
absolutely.
You do? May I ask why?
Really? Yeah, exactly. Same thing. And for once, Frank seems supportive of his son, which is nice to see.
This might be one of the few times, if only, that Frank is proud of George.
Without the writing, got nothing. You're the ones that make them look good.
I like how Frank calls Estelle baby doll. Like, baby doll, this kid's going places.
Yes. They must have just had some Chinese food probably before.
Oh, that's true. I wondered if Larry is writing this from personal experience, because his mom, I think, really wanted him to be like a United States postal worker. Like, she wanted him to have like a regular 9-to-5 job, that paid well. And I think the whole idea of being a writer and a comedian, just didn't really sit well with his parents. Also, we mentioned Fred Stoller, and in his book, he talks about how his mom just constantly was like the source of anxiety and dread in his life.
Oh, yeah. There are podcast episodes with him and his mother, and you can still hear and sense the tension between him and his mother.
What is the line? Like, Freddie, why don't you... I forget the quote from...
But you encapsulated the tension there.
Yeah.
The rage.
Let's cut over to Jerry's apartment. He's on the phone with NBC, finds out that he gets to use the NBC jet and fly anywhere he wants. Kramer enters. How was the beach?
You missed it, buddy. A lot of feminitas. Some major feminitas.
And he starts hopping around the apartment trying to get some water out of his ear. And the whole time, Jerry tells him about NBC, the pilot, they're moving to California. And Kramer has an interesting reaction to all this.
What if the show's a hit? You might be out there for years. You might never come back.
No, I'll be back.
Jerry, it's L.A. Nobody leaves. She's a seductress. She's a siren. She's a virgin. She's a whore.
So Kramer's talking from experience here, right?
He's been to L.A.
Right. I mean,
he's felt fake breasts.
He's made it back. He's escaped, but there definitely seems to be that concern, right? Of, I'll never see my buddy again.
Of course. He's coming from a place purely of love, but we should remind people when Kramer was in L.A., he was wanted for murder. But, yeah.
But at least Kramer is excited to hear that he, Jerry, George, and Elaine get to use the private jet for one last fling before they leave.
Fling! Now, don't you think Kramer, he'd be the type to go along with Jerry and George to California and be the neighbor next door to them? I would.
Yeah, I mean, if the show did end with that, like everyone out in California, it would make sense. But I don't know. Maybe just Kramer's coming from experience. He's already scratched that itch, and he's been back in New York for 6 seasons now. He's kind of over LA.
And well, I guess I'll go one more. What if as of now, cut out all the court stuff. We don't know where this story's going. It's all positive with they're getting the pilot or they're getting the show again. George and Jerry are moving. Kramer would also move out to LA, and they could do like a montage of them doing all the California sites. So it'd be this very happy, uplifting, everything's going their way kind of finale.
Sort of the, I don't know, you wonder at the end, you're like, was that a dream sequence? Did someone get shivved in the shower? And that's like a Jacob's Ladder scenario. Getting back to the scene in Jerry's apartment, this was the last time we'll see Kramer enter, which is a big moment, I think, considering, according to the DVDs, there were 389 Kramer entrances on the show.
I think we have to add the link of all the entrances on YouTube.
Yeah, now I don't know if that link has all 389 because the DVDs were kind of sticklers. If you hear him entering, it doesn't count. And he actually has to cross the threshold. There's a lot of times where Kramer's maybe out in the hallway or his foot never goes out the door. So, that doesn't count if he comes back in.
And it has to be an entrance, not an exit. So if he's already in Jerry's apartment at the start of a scene and he leaves, that doesn't count. So for example, in the cold open, when he's doing that montage where he's doing the comedy and he pushes the couch out and he hits his head on the threshold and then he falls down. Does that count as a...
No, that doesn't count. But there are some exits and where he re-enters where, it does count. It's very subtle. You really have to zoom in, enhance the details there. But anyways, we get an act break, and next scene, we're at Monk's, the final scene at Monk's, where the group is discussing where to go with the NBC jet.
So we can go anywhere we want?
Anywhere.
Why are they doing this?
I think they want to make it up to us because they let this thing sit on their shelf for 5 years.
This is all very exciting.
So, where are we going?
Well, I say Japan.
Why Japan?
Oh, geishas. Boy, they cater to your every whim. They're shy at first, but they're quite skilled at conversation. They can discuss anything from world affairs to the fine art of fishing or baking.
Oh, I got it. How about Russia?
Oh, Russia. It's so bleak.
It's not bleak. It's springtime.
It's still bleak.
You can't be bleak in spring.
You can be bleak in spring.
If you're bleak, you're bleak.
What about Switzerland?
Ooh, Switzerland. Ooh, the Von Trapp family, huh?
It's a bit hilly, no?
You're not going to do any walking.
What if I want to walk around a little?
Oh, so then you'll walk down the hill and we'll pick you up.
What if I'm at the bottom?
All right, you know what? Just forget it.
All right, come on now, people. Let's face it, we're not all going to agree on anything. Why don't we just all go to Paris?
I'll go to Paris.
Me too.
Oh, yeah, oui.
So that's it. It's settled. We're going to Paris.
So they agree on Paris, eh?
Yes.
I thought it was interesting to hear what each member suggested as their destination. So we got Kramer suggesting Japan, Elaine wanting to go to Russia, which I agree with George and Jerry. It is very bleak.
Right. If you're bleak, you're bleak.
Again, George and Elaine just chirp. And then Elaine comes up with Switzerland, which I love Kramer's Von Trapp family.
Mm-hmm. Which is weird because that took place in Austria.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway. You're wearing lederhosen.
And then finally, I guess, Jerry suggests Paris. Now, in a deleted scene, I believe George recommends Sweden.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. There's some added dialogue to the scene in which George suggests Sweden, which I thought was wonderful because of Kramer's backstory, and maybe they could have shed some more light onto Kramer not wanting to go or something. Like I don't want to go because of my history, but thought that was kind of cool. They brought that up.
Oh, that's very cool. Yeah. I think the best thing about this scene is it's the same seating arrangement and ending really to the contest episode.
Talk to me.
So you've got, Kramer on the outside, Jerry on the inside, George on the outside, Elaine on the inside, the exact same seating arrangement. And I swore they did the same ending of, but in the contest, it's a pinky swear. And in this, it's kind of like, let's put our hands in and, raise them up.
I always assume when they do the yow, I always think it's a pinky, but you're right.
And, I kind of forgot about this. My memory's a little rusty, but the cast used to start each episode, the filming of each episode with that, kind of, they'd have this circle of power gathering before filming.
Mm-hmm.
If you look in the background, basically where Steve Skrovan and Fred Stoller were sitting, this time you've got Tom Sharonis.
Oh, really? He came back?
Remember Tommy C?
He's the original director that started with Seinfeld, and then Andy Ackerman went on to take his role.
Yeah, Tom Sharonis did the first 5 seasons of Seinfeld, and sitting across from him is then president of NBC, Warren Littlefield, who,
Cool.
Once again, you'll see him in a bunch of interviews on YouTube if you just Google, Seinfeld, Warren Littlefield. He's the one that, basically is the James Kimbrough of this episode. And also, I think the one who kind of pushed for Elaine and Jerry to have a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And also at another table next to Tom is Dave Mendel. So there you go.
Nice. Love him.
Mm-hmm. Let's cut over to Jerry's apartment. The group is ready to head to the airport thanks to the NBC limo downstairs.
Beep, beep, beep.
The show gets the biggest amount of applause with that joke.
Well, I'm sure NBC execs were like, elevate the laugh track, please.
I know that.
Do they still use the beep, beep, beeps?
Ooh, I'm not sure.
That'd be funny if Jerry was like, beep, beep, beep.
What are you doing?
Exactly.
Elaine tries to make another Jill call before they leave, but Jerry says, you can't rush that conversation. Maybe she can call from the plane?
First you make a cell phone walk and talk, then she loses a call waiting face off. Now you're talking about a plane call?
So Elaine's like, all right, fine. I'll have to call from Paris. And she heads to the bathroom when there's a knock at the door.
Hello, Jerry.
Hello, Newman. What gives?
I was speaking earlier with Kramer, and he mentioned something about a private jet to Paris.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I hear it's quite beautiful there this time of year, and of course I'm 1/4 French.
Really?
Oh, yes. In fact, I still have family there. This probably won't interest you, but I have a cousin there who's suffering very badly.
Oh.
She's lost all use of her muscles. She can only communicate by blinking. I would so love to see her, bring a ray of sunshine into her tragic life. But alas, I can't afford it, for I am, as you know, but a simple postal worker.
That's a shame.
Take me! Take me!
Oh, forget it. Pull yourself together. You're making me sick. Be a man.
All right. But hear me and hear me well. The day will come. Oh, yes. Mark my words, Seinfeld. Your day of reckoning is coming when an evil wind will blow through your little play world and wipe that smug smile off your face. And I'll be there in all my glory, watching as it all comes crumbling down.
So we're starting to get these revisits from these characters we've grown to love over the years, and what a wonderful, not send off, because we do see Newman in the trial scenes, but how fabulous is he in this scene right here?
There's certain boxes Larry is ticking off, I think, with we got to have a Kramer entrance, we got to have a Monk scene, we have to have a Hello Newman. So yeah, I feel like this episode would almost feel less than without a scene like this.
Yeah.
We learned that Newman is 1/4 French.
Hey. And Elaine's father's half drunk.
And I think what a fabulous little monologue for Wayne Knight to have for this last episode, because we've said this since his first episode. He really is the 5th member of the show.
Of course. Yep.
So he deserved this. The DVDs also kept track of Hello Newmans on the show. I've got a little bone to pick, though. They list it at 15, and most websites will list it as 15 because that's where everyone just, copied the trivia from.
Sure.
However, that didn't seem right. So I spent maybe an hour or so before trivia doing some investigating.
What'd you find out, Lois?
Well, I counted at least 18.
I'd like to know your methods here. How'd you pull this off?
Well,
find?
I look up all of the episodes Newman is in.
Okay.
And then from that, I'll go to either a script or just think in my head, like, all right, what are Newman's scenes? Did he have any scenes with Jerry? So I can kind of cross them off. And then I'll go to those actual episodes.
Okay.
But 18 is my final count if anyone's playing at home.
I can just visualize you being in a dark mailroom basement like Charlie from It's Always Sunny, and you got Hello Newman written on the wall with what is it, string,
Yes.
and you guys smoking a cigarette.
Carol.
Pepe Sylvia.
All right, let's cut over to the airfield. This was filmed at the Van Nuys Airport in Van Nuys, California. The group boards their plane, and it's this little jet. Really nice inside. It's, kind of minimal, but, I mean, who the hell has ever been on a private jet before?
This is it?
I'm sorry. I have to say I'm a little disappointed. I thought it would be a lot nicer.
You're complaining about a private jet?
You think this is the plane that Ted Danson gets?
Ted Danson is not even on the network anymore.
Still, I bet when they gave him a plane, it was a lot nicer than this one.
Will you shut up? You are ruining the whole trip.
This is a real piece of junk. I don't even feel safe on this thing. I have a good mind to write a letter to Mr. Kim.
You're not writing any letters.
Will you turn around?
Why?
You are annoying me sitting like that. It's effeminate.
It's effeminate to sit like this?
Yes, I think it's a little effeminate.
How is this effeminate?
I don't know. It just is.
Crazy, what are you doing?
You still got water in your ear.
Can't get rid of it. Maybe it leaked inside my brain.
Griffin, would you stop that? It's not safe to be jumping up and down on a plane.
I gotta get it out. I can't take this anymore.
Kramer, don't be fooling around up here! Kramer!
Hey, get the hell out of here.
What is that?
Oh, my God.
What is that noise? What is that noise?
Kramer, what the hell did you do?
I lost my balance.
Oh my God! What's going on? Oh!
Kramer! It was an accident! I told you to stop what happened!
Oh my God! We're going down! We're gonna die!
Ah, just what I was doing, Christ! I told you God wouldn't let me be successful!
Is this how it ends? It can't! It can't end like this!
Oh, I'm ready! Glory, hallelujah!
Jerry! Jerry, can you hear me?
Yeah!
There's something I have to tell you.
What? What is it?
I cheated in the contest.
What?
The contest! I cheated!
Why?
Because I'm a cheater! I had to tell you.
Great, I won!
Jerry! I gotta tell you something too!
Elaine, I've got something I want to say to you!
No, me first!
All right!
Jerry! I'm always...
Hey, what's going on?
We're straightening out!
Straighten it out!
Straighten it out!
Straighten it out!
This would have been giving it away, but it would be cool if, like, the Seinfeld finale, featured the almost plane crash and Jerry going, "It can't end like this. How will our heroes escape this one?"
Oh, if they did like a to be continued?
Yeah, or just some sort of teaser for the finale. They really mess with you in the finale here, whether it's Kramer saying, "Yeah, there's something in the air," or just the whole expectation of this group going to Paris, and obviously that's not going to work out for them as they make the emergency landing in Latham, Massachusetts. But
I guess in the way that the Sopranos finale was maybe considered ballsy for the way they ended it. Mm-hmm. Maybe what if Seinfeld just ended with a crash, and that's it? Like they just fade to credits, and they're like, "That's it."
Well, with all these network planes flying around, wouldn't you assume there'd be a plane crash?
Oh,
yeah. But the scene itself here, I think, is fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Lots of information shed. Number one being George cheated on the contest. How great is that? Huge. Going back to season 4, 5 years later, we learned who actually won. Jerry was the winner all along.
Probably the biggest revelation from this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I love George's reason why he cheated.
Because he's a cheater.
Because I'm a cheater.
It was there.
Yes. I was wondering what you thought of the constant, Ted Danson references. This feels like it's going back to Larry's feelings from the early 90s, being Cheers' little brother of a show.
Well, Larry left the show in season 7, but he had one more opportunity to stick it to Ted Danson and Cheers. So, yes. And being a guy who just completed Cheers and is now watching Frasier, I'm loving these references here.
How's the Cheers finale, by the way?
I dug it. I liked it a lot.
Better than Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sure. Nice.
And let's, Kimbrough wanted a little bit of Jerry and Elaine. So we get a little taste of that in real life, in real Sign Universe life. What do you think of that, Jerry? I've always loved you.
Oh, well, we don't know what she was saying, right?
Mm-hmm. ...
I think it's great. And as a 14-year-old watching this finale, I was sort of conditioned to be like, oh yeah, like man, woman, TV show, they have to get together at the end.
That's how life works, right?
Yeah, and God, how wrong these execs are to force these pointless relationships.
Sure.
And I love how Larry just, sort of, he's not only teasing the audience, but he's kind of ridiculing them at the same time.
He's in many ways like Elaine with the Christmas card. He's like, relationship, you want a relationship? Here's your relationship. Yeah. And he rubs everybody's face in his breasts. It would have been cool if Jerry and Elaine started making out because their plane was going down.
Okay. Take it easy. And one last thing here. I love how Kramer taps into his religious side with, I'm ready, glory, hallelujah.
Oh, excellent point. Because if we refer back to the parking garage, he said, death doesn't scare him. The secret to a happy life is to just let it go. And then George, of course, says see, that's what bothers me more is that people like you live to be 100.
Yeah, it makes sense that George is the one. Well, he is clinging literally to his chair, but Well, the plane makes that emergency landing in Latham, Massachusetts, and it's going to take a few hours to get everything checked out on the plane, so the group reluctantly takes a cab to get something to eat, while the pilot plans to just beep them, I guess, when they're ready to go again.
Beep, beep, beep. Again?
Yeah, again with the beeps.
There's something that kind of dates the show is, I got your beeper, I'll beep you. Like, what?
Yeah, cell phone, beeper, and this video camera, too, that Kramer's been lugging around.
Oh, yeah.
I guess he's going to film the whole trip. But the downtown is small and quaint, nice backlot. So, of course, the gang feels very uncomfortable here, very out of place. And while walking...
Another beautiful day from another passerby.
Yeah, another one. While walking down the sidewalk, a man gets carjacked. And instead of doing anything... the gang just sort of stands there watching. And then Kramer, of course, is like, well, I'm going to get this. And they all just start making fun of this poor, portly fellow getting mugged and how, what are the lines? The good thing about robbing a fat guy is that they can't chase you.
There goes the money for the lipo.
That was harsh.
Easy getaway.
Oh, he's doing him a favor. Less money for him to buy food.
Yeah.
And I guess it just ends with the guy speeding off. And what does Jerry say?
That's a shame.
Of course.
True Seinfeld fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta say, these jokes by our heroes right now, kind of cringy. I'm a little ooh.
You mean they're not funny, or they're
Well, no, just hearing them berate this fat guy while he's getting carjacked.
Yeah, this seems to be the unanimous moment, right? No one would side with the guys here or the gang here.
Not at all.
As the mugger speeds away in the car, the victim waves down a cop and explains what happened. And surprisingly, the cop approaches the gang and places them under arrest for violating the Good Samaritan law.
Mm-hmm.
This law requires them to assist anyone in danger as long as it's reasonable to do so. First time hearing of it.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Larry read about this law going in this? It's an actual law that did go into effect somewhere. He read it, and then he decided to use this as the backdrop for the finale.
Right. I think the finale basically centered around this law, which, as we'll learn later, we can talk about it here. One of the cops says it came out of when Princess Diana died, and all the paparazzi were just surrounding the car, not doing anything. The fact that they're fined like $85,000 and face a maximum like
5 years.
5 years in prison, which is insane. I think like in real life, it's only a couple $100 or a couple $1,000 fine
for just standing there.
Yeah, just standing there. Innocent bystanders. So Latham, Massachusetts is not a real place, if anyone's wondering. And these scenes here, this backlot is at Warner Brothers in Burbank. Okay. So again, they're all over the place. They're not just at CBS this episode.
Fans of stand-up comedy will probably recognize the carjack victim. That is none other than John Panette, who is credited as Howie. He unfortunately passed away a couple years ago, but that is, again, Seinfeld always giving opportunities to comedians to come on and take a role, just like we saw Mario Joyner in the Puerto Rican Day. We see John Panette here in the finale. This
is the first time I saw him, when I was a kid, and I thought he was so odd. The way he acts, he's like, officer, I was being carjacked. You see, he's just like,
is he British? Yeah,
it's like a little cartoon character. I think we also meet another character here, Officer Vogel, who we'll see later in the courtroom. But we get an act break, and next scene we're in a police station in downtown Latham. The group is being held in a tiny cell. They put all 4 of them in there. And they're still baffled by this Good Samaritan law. I think George is like, who would want to help anyone? That's what nuns and Red Cross workers are for. But they learn about the law and pretty much that they're screwed. It looks like they better get a good lawyer. And, of course, that's when we cut over to Jackie Giles' office in Manhattan.
Who told you to put the cheese on? Did I tell you to put the cheese on? I didn't tell you to put the cheese on.
Jerry Seinfeld on the phone.
You people with the cheese. It never ends. Hello? Good Samaritan law. I never heard of it. You don't have to help anybody. That's what this country's all about. That's deplorable, unfathomable, improbable. Hold on. Susie, cancel my appointment with Dr. Bison and pack a bag for me. I want to get to Latham, Massachusetts right away.
And here's where the episode, I think, kicks into high gear, right? It's...
Oh, high gear.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to be like Peterman and say, that's where it takes a most uninteresting turn.
No, just the opposite. I think the first half of this episode is, I don't know, it's a lot to set up, to put these guys in this situation. But I think once we get to Jackie, and Phil Morris really, I think, carries this entire episode. Yeah,
he is probably he's the one who, like you said, carries, or he's the shining star of this episode. Right. I think the time code is like 27 minutes that we're at before we actually get to any court stuff.
Yeah, we're almost done. We're going to break this into 2 parts, and we're almost at the end of part 1 here.
Regarding this clip, though, I got to disagree. I love Jackie Giles, but I can't believe he's not a fan of cheese. What's the deal? And then secondly, I love that you don't have to help anybody. And
that's what this country is all about.
Exactly, yeah. I'm with you, Jackie. But I love that he still rolls with Susie and Dr. Bison. Like, he keeps these people close to him. I think we might see Susie later on,
yes.
Carrying his bag. But I love that he keeps his people close to him.
Yes. Let's cut over to the DA office in Latham. The district attorney and his team are putting together the case for what is supposed to be a highly publicized trial. Apparently, no one's ever been arrested for this law before. So, it's going to be covered by the media. Everyone across the country is going to be watching. So the DA wants to do everything and anything they can to win here. Their strategy is to go after the defendant's character. So they need to find out everything they can about these people, Vinny, and I mean everything. That was horrible.
Yeah, that was good. Got to chill. That's none other than D.A. Hoyt, who's played by actor James Reborn. I think we mentioned him before, but I think everybody will recognize his face, his voice. I remember him from My Cousin Vinny.
Oh, nice.
He was the tire analyst.
I first saw him in Blank Check.
Oh.
He plays the dad, Preston's dad.
Mm-hmm. So, I think he also had a good role in, was it White Collar, right? White Collar.
Ooh, I don't know my USA shows.
I think it's a cool show with Matt Bomer, but
Harris watches Burn Notice.
And Kevin.
Kevin. Oh, yeah, I know. Bizarro Jerry.
Yes, he's in it too. So good show to check out if you like USA shows.
James Reborn passed away a couple of years ago, which I think was really sudden and sad. He had been living with melanoma, though, I think for a few decades. And I think he was filming Homeland at the time. He plays Claire Danes' dad on that show. And he passed away, between the, I think, third and fourth season. But, great actor, great character actor. I think he's like kind of like a big, I don't know, I feel like he's a big name to get for this finale. But again, he doesn't like overshadow anything that's happening around him.
And he appears to be the main, would you say villain or just the antagonist of this episode?
I'd say so, yeah. When I was a kid, he always felt like that kind of guy. He's the, I don't know if he's the press secretary or chief of staff in Independence Day. Independence Day. He's always there to kind of be a dick, I guess.
Yeah.
There's another guy in this scene sitting across from D.A. Hoyt, and that is producer Tim Kaiser. Who we've mentioned before. He is one of the guys, whenever Jerry or George are at the beach, Tim Kaiser's the guy with the woman in the stroller, I think. And
nice.
They're doing
Family Man.
Gucci. Sorry. Let's cut over to the police station. The gang is sitting in that tiny prison cell, eating some food.
That's a pretty good chow, huh?
Would it kill him to check up on us? No, drops off the meals, and that's it. I realize we're prisoners, but we're still entitled to ketchup!
I guess we could have called for help.
But then we would have missed the whole thing.
No. I still had it on video. We could have watched it later.
Yeah, he's right.
I forgot about the video.
Sure, video. What is that?
Plane's ready.
For some reason, that type of humor, that plane's ready, I just find like the essence of Seinfeld.
Yes, man. This scene could be cut out of syndication. It doesn't matter, but it's pure Larry David.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I forgot about the video. Do you think the joke there is that's incriminating evidence? Are they setting that up at all?
Perhaps.
Just wondering.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be. Oh, one other thing I forgot to bring up when we introduced Jackie into this episode. Last time we had Jackie on, he said he would never work with Kramer again because it always ended in public humiliation, and yet he's willing to take this on.
Well, this case looks like it's going to be a slam dunk for Jackie. And also high profile, right? He'll get a bunch of attention even if he loses.
True.
Oh, God. How much does this date the episode? Let's cut over to Rivera Live. You got Geraldo Rivera and his talk show with correspondent Jane Wells, who...
Jane Wells,
you brought up earlier, right?
Yeah, she's actually a real news lady who I thought was the actress in Monks. But no, different people.
And of course, like if it were, she'd be like eating something with ketchup on it or something.
That'd be great.
Yeah. You got ketchup on it. Yeah, this, I don't know. I know Geraldo's still around, but I don't know. To me, he's always been sort of like that bottom feeder level of journalism.
He's still out there today, right?
Yeah, he's got something going on. Still got the mustache.
Well, he has a bow in his head.
And I think he also brings up, I mean, this makes no sense whatsoever, but Geraldo is like, maybe they'll get married.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, what? Yeah, definitely Larry making fun of the audience there. So I think we're in the final stretch here. We have some clips, and then we'll just kind of burn through all the secondary characters before we wrap up. Let's cut down to the Seinfeld's condo down in Florida. Helen and Morty are about to leave for Massachusetts, and Helen is packing this huge suitcase full of cereal.
I hope you packed enough. This trial could last for weeks.
What's all that?
Cereal.
You're packing cereal?
I'm bringing it for Jerry.
You got enough here for a life sentence?
He likes it. He says he misses that more than anything.
So bring a snack pack.
So, Vinny, that is it. That is the last Helen and Morty scene on Seinfeld.
Boo! It's a good one, though.
Yeah. That suitcase must have, I don't know, 20 boxes of cereal in it.
And a brick.
And it's all like a variety, too, which is great. You know, you got like your Cheerios, your grape nuts, big bowl of Kicks, whatever. And then we bounce up to New York to see the Costanzas leaving for Massachusetts.
Poor Georgie. Was it our fault this happened to him? Did we do something wrong? Maybe it was our fault.
Maybe it was your fault. It wasn't my fault, I can tell you that.
Oh, so it was my fault, but not yours.
You were the one who smothered him.
I did not smother him.
You smothered. He couldn't get any air. He couldn't breathe. He was suffocating.
Sure, and you were always in Korea with your religious tchotchkes.
I had to make a living.
I like this. We're getting like a little taste of each, character, or these family members that we've come to love. Another little reference to Frank's profession, where he sold religious tchotchkes in Korea.
And I like, too, that there's some more Costanza dialogue later, but I like that their last scene is just they're in each other's faces, yelling at each other.
Of course.
Anyways, this montage at the end is fantastic. It kind of kicks off with Newman in his apartment. He's packed a suitcase and he's laughing to himself.
He's so giddy.
But then we get this great series of building exteriors and characters leaving, their apartments. You get Uncle Leo, Jay Peterman, Putty, and this is kind of a revelation. Mickey lives next door.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He does come the door next door.
It's a great revelation because, Putty leaves in his 8-ball jacket, and there's Mickey with like a huge suitcase.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got Kenny, the Rosses jump in a cab, the Rabbi Kirschbaum, right? Or Glickman, whatever.
Either way, whatever you prefer.
This one's surprising. Keith Hernandez. Hailing a cab. And who do we end it with?
Whoa. George Steinbrenner.
Yes. And you can see he's very excited. He's like, whoa.
I think that's the how we had Lee Bear, and then we had, what was the other guy's name?
The other guy.
Yeah. Oh, man. We're losing it. I think it's the other guy because he has a lot more gusto in his step as he's exiting the Yankees office.
I think this might be Lee Bear, though.
Get out of here.
Credits. I think that's old Lee Bear.
That's old Bear.
Old Bear.
I didn't even know we were calling him that. So this is like a murderer's row of Seinfeld's secondary characters. Love seeing them back to back to back. Keith Hernandez, though, that's an interesting get. Him only appearing in one episode. I love it. And he has some great little moments in this finale.
Yeah, it is pretty obscure, but yeah, that must be just Larry's personal preference, right? Like, I want Keith to be there. And what's great too, Vinny, is that we have so many more characters to talk about in part 2 of the finale. So will you come back to finish up with me?
I'm down. Mark me down.
All right, well, I'm going to let Kramer take us out for this episode.
All right, let's take a short break.